if we are able to do a constantly creativity into our lifestyle or what we do or even our work life, that is the beginning of reinvention, right? You don't need a big set of tools or a long list of scientific methods, right? Creativity. That is the beginning of every journey.
Meeting future workforce need requires an in-depth understanding of the human side of reskilling and upskilling. We must decode the black box of human reinvention. Doing so will enable companies to build more effective people-focused solutions to the learning challenges that the future of work presents and provide solutions that support, nurture, and ideally accelerate the process of reinvention. Hello and welcome to the Honest Talk by Freak Folks. I'm Harsh Pandey. For this particular session, we have this very special guest today, Mr. Virupakshappa Hovale, sir. He's an engineer in the field of electrical and electronics from the Mysore University. Further, he had an opportunity to complete the management program in the field of strategy and execution. One of the profound exposure in the field of design thinking and innovation, he is also a certified reinvention practitioner, which enables him to addressing business challenges and opportunities, but beyond that, in one's personal life too. He has about 30 years of industrial journey in the field of manufacturing, extensive experience in the industrial automation drivers and sales and marketing. He has passion for helping people's development and mentoring. So first of all, sir, I welcome you to in this session. Thank you so much for joining and actually agreeing to share your thoughts with us.
Harsh, thank you very much. I am really excited and glad to connect with you for this session. I am really happy to connect with you.
Thank you so much, sir. It's our pleasure too. So moving to the topic of today's session, which we have chosen is reinvention mandate, succeeding in 2022 and beyond. Digitization, globalization, and artificial intelligence are bringing fundamental and massive changes to the way we work and live. COVID-19 has accelerated these technological and societal shifts, possibly signaling the imminent restructuring of the global economic order. So my very first request to you is please explain to our viewers the importance of reinvention in this fast-paced changing world.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks, Harsh. You gave a very good introduction to the topic. As you said, we live in the highly volatile world. In general business terminology, we call it as a VUCA world, right? Volatile, uncertainty, complexity, and ambiguity, right? We live in that world. While the technological disruption, this globalization, digitization has brought lot into the disruption, or it is a constructive destruction, yes, definitely. So reinvention is a topic, actually, it is not really new. Example, if you go back and look at the metamorphosis, where caterpillar starts its journey into the fog, it starts all the way till it turns and flies into the colorful butterfly, right? It reinvents itself at every stage, right? The human being as well as the industry being is also no way different. We need to be ready to be anticipating those change, getting ourselves prepared for what is coming for us in the nearby future, and not only living today, right? The caterpillar doesn't crush and come out just like that. It sustains, it thrives, then prepares its journey for the future. It is exactly the same in our own life as well as the business profession. We need to be prepared to not only live in today's turbulence, but thrive in the turbulence and prepare for tomorrow's journey. This is where we reinvent ourselves personally also, as well as for our business environment or entrepreneurship where we live, we reinvent ourselves constantly. So that is the context of reinvention I would like to take you through today.
Indeed, sir. I think actually you have explained this very well, and I'm sure the viewers, those who are watching this session, they are also getting the point. So my next question to you is: actually, the global pandemic and other recent shared experience have inspired us to ask, what else? What are the mindsets and skill sets that support human reinvention? Is there a predictable set of stages, a process, principles that we can decode?
Yeah. Maybe, Harsh, with your permission, maybe I'll mention about one of the Kannada proverb which says
Sure, sure.
actually, Ravi Kanadanna Kavi Kanda. It translates into English like, what sun did not even see, the poet could see it. Right? Poets are so creative, right?
Hmm.
They bring what is not visible even to the super nature or supernatural, like suns and others.
Yes.
Poets are able to find out. That's
Right.
where one of the finest example of creativity, right? So all this reinvention starts with actually assessing myself, what is my standing, understanding of my standing, where do I stand today, right? For all this, actually, we don't need a pandemic, we don't need a turbulent change happening for us. If we are able to do a constantly creativity into our lifestyle, or what we do, or even our work life, that is the beginning of reinvention, right? You don't need a big set of tools or a long list of scientific methods, right?
Right.
Creativity, that is the beginning of every journey. If you look at most of our great inventions and discoveries, are the product and solutions what we have gone through, are the way human live today, it's just because of the creative thinking starts with himself. That is the beginning.
Exactly. So my next question to you is: we have seen in the face of rapid and continuous change, the need to reskill and upskill entire workforce is one of the significant challenge we face today and for the foreseeable future. Sir, what
Yeah,
are your some recommendations you have to foster reskill and upskill entire workforce?
yeah. See, if I take to the even before I go for a reskill and upskill, no,
Mm.
I will touch very basic principles where for the human being. There is a wrong belief that creativity lies with only very few select elite people, right?
Yes.
Or the elite personalities. No, that is a wrong notion. Every human being has a built-in creativity into it, but we try to ignore it. We are so constantly bombarded with super information or cluttered our mind with so much of things that we don't give attention to the things around us. Nature itself is the biggest teacher for us about our own creativity.
Right.
If we can drop our cluttered mind, or we make ourselves surrender, come out of those voice of judgment within ourselves, we start appreciating everything around us. I think that is the beginning of creativity. Then we start thinking ourselves constantly how it can be better, what else it can be better. I think that is where the creativity starts. When we start doing the creativity, the applied mindfulness and the creativity, they start a journey towards, I start finding something new. Applied imagination brings out many things. If you refer back to the great inventions, they came out of the applying the imagination to their thought process, the great imagination that result into a good manifestation, and they started a journey of finding the new things. Then see, many times people get confused also. What is this reinvention? What is this innovation? What is this invention? Right? They are all very closely connected. If you look at the most populous, not everybody can innovate, right?
Hmm.
A Six Sigma curve shows only 2.5 to 3% can only innovate. Rest all are the followers, or the leaders, or the laggards, right? So
Yes.
we cannot, while we cannot find the innovation mindset with everyone, what we need is actually create an opportunity for reinvention. Reinvention, again, I say, it starts with assessing myself. Where do I stand today? Where do my business stands today? So these are the basic fundamental tool sets that can enable a person to start his reinvention journey. Reinvention is not just about, okay, how I create the new skill tool set, new skill sets, new learnings I can do. Yes, they are important to build your competencies, but you need to make an assessment. Where do you stand today? What is the industry is looking for? What is the legal framework looking for? What is the technology disturbance looking for a change, right? Example, if you look at around India, we could respond so much by vaccinating huge populace, right? With
Right.
our own domestic vaccination. What forced us to do that? Big turbulence of COVID forced us.
Hmm. Yes.
We had the capability, right? What we did, the government of India and the great leadership harnessed it so well. People are able to get vaccinated. We having a huge population, we're able to use our resources, right? This
Right.
is where, even during a pandemic, our pharmaceutical industry, especially on the vaccination, we thrived and delivered not only for India, it got exported to a large extent. This is a classic example of reinvention, just recent, what we are living today. So, answering your question, what we need, the skill set is actually our own mindset to anticipate the change, what is coming up, prepare for the change, and put the structure in place. How I can live the change and thrive the change, not only today, even for tomorrow. That's how the journey starts.
Indeed, sir.
I
I
hope I
think,
clarified you.
yes, actually, you have given a very beautiful example and you have described this in very beautiful way. And sir, I'm sure the people who are watching this session, they are finding this insightful and meaningful. So my next question to you is, we have seen the business world has changed dramatically over the last few decades. Now we now live in a connected society where change can be fast-paced, constant, and unpredictable. Rapid advance in the technology have created an environment where the internet, smartphones, and social media are ubiquitous, and the 2008 global financial crisis and this 2019-2020 pandemic has increased the sense of turbulence, danger, and unpredictability in the certain areas. So in your opinion, what are the critical skills required to excel in this fast-paced changing world?
Yeah, coming to the industrial environment, Harsh, what I said is actually critical skill sets actually is a constant journey for one's own personal life as well as professional life. Wherever we are, my suggestion is actually look about my own approach towards the current situation and what else I can learn. During this pandemic, we had so much opportunity and the disturbance together, right?
Yes.
Many people learned many skill set during this period. Example, making their own career,
Hmm.
learning new skill set. Example, learning maybe Internet of Things, learning digital transformation, bringing their own organization onto a digital transformation journey. Some people invested their time and energy into learning latest digital design thinking skill sets, right? Design thinking skill set is something, right, that I don't look at design and R&D itself per se. I look at bringing an user or a human centric issues, look at how best the experience can be improved. The way I go to hospital and book my reservation, I can change. The way I get treated for my ailments, I can change, right? So digital fundamentals, digital transformation journey starts within oneself. The way I use myself, these digital gadgets consciously, and of my own consciousness to the surroundings, and learning skill sets specifically, I would advise for anything, because being in India, we are not just living in the industry itself, right? We have other commercial establishment, we have other religious establishment, we have industries. So even for a religious establishment, it is an opportunity for reinvent. The way they offered the visibility or the treated the devotees and offering the religious services, right? Everything got changed. Okay, coming to your the question, the skill set, my suggestion is also actually to get into the digital transformation. Keep your agility. Learning is not a one-time activity, it is ongoing. Whatever field you are, whether you are a mechanical engineer, a civil engineer, or an electronics engineer, or even a computer, or you are from a non-engineering background, there are basic skill sets to go on is to think, where do I stand? Do I my skills, my current skill set are enough or sufficient to survive today and prepare for tomorrow? And absorb those skill set and apply into the field where you live. See why I'm giving specific answer about which are the technological area to learn, Harsh, is because we have a huge populace
Yes.
who are not really into the engineering field.
Right.
I'm trying to address that large area where who are not into the engineering area.
Yes.
Example, if you come to the agricultural area where India is huge, right?
Yes.
There are many ways where these reinvention can be put into practice into my agricultural area. The way I cultivated earlier, the way I took my produce to the market, the way my farmers got a e-market to sell their produce, how well they were aware of about the what is the pricing today for their produce, right?
Right.
These are all the skill set which can go to my agricultural areas, not just my industry. Industry, I'm sure people are very well versed about Internet of Things and the way we use day to day. It is completely full-fledged. But while addressing the large populace of agriculture, or even in the health area, right? That is where we need people learning new skill sets which can take us to the next level. Example, we always, when I look at the life-saving skill sets, we first comes to our mind is actually the doctor, the nurse, the ambulance, the operational theater, right?
Right.
That's what comes to our mind first. But can you imagine on the roadside, we put the borderline, which is itself illuminating. We put plastic reflectors. We put road dividers, right? From where does it come? It doesn't come from what we imagined as the life-saving community, right? The profession on the road building is also a life-saving community.
Exactly. Yes.
Lakhs of lives are saved when we put these new things in place by having a clearly road edge demarkers, the plastic reflectors, the dividers, everything reflective, and the quality of roads we build. Can we imagine that road construction companies who are contributing to save our lives, lakhs of lives, right? So this reinvention, life-saving, surviving, and preparing for tomorrow doesn't belong to only one particular area of our life. It's across. I touched upon agricultural area. I touched upon the road construction and
Yes.
building. Even the digitalization, we have already immense into the medical area also, the way we do the remote consulting. The COVID has changed. Not many people go to hospital, right? We approach through our digital consultation or remote consultation on a video call. We have transformed, right? That by forcefully we got transformed ourselves. But if we are able to put the right structure, a mindset, a culture, system and process in place to drive and nurture this culture of reinvention, I think our life could be much better. We can survive and improve our life much better what we are today, right? We can learn from biomimicry, where we can learn 3.2 billion lives of learnings is already in the nature, because our earth is surviving for more than 3.2 billion of years, billions of years. We can learn out of this how I can regeneratively give back, make my planet to be survivable. I think it's a very good living environment for all of us. So reinvention also drives hard about how we connect back to the nature. I think with that I say it's a great discussion with you, Harsh.
Indeed, sir. It was really a very meaningful answer from your side, and I think you have the best way. The best thing about you is that you have covered, apart from the major tech audience, you have already covered the people from all different domains. So this is a great thing. So my next question to you is, what we have seen is that in this COVID era, we have seen the emerging concept of gig economy. Many people believes that the future of gig work holds great potential because it tends to be more meaningful and rewarding in more than just the monetary aspects. So I want to know, how do you see the future of gig economy?
Digital economy. Okay, I think it's instead of getting into the so-called cryptocurrency or bitcoins, I will get into the digital economy towards where we call about blockchain, right? That is an excellent development what we have come across, where the security issues are addressed for us, right? Blockchain is not just only into the economical area; it has been implemented into the many area of our life already, right? Example. The credit card which we said, dual authentication system, that also came out of a very good innovation, right? The innovation drove that dual authentication of my credit cards. Digital economy is going to be there. That is where our whole world is economically connected so well, right? What makes us much better is to take care of about digital security related topics. That is the biggest challenges for all of us. Or you say cyber security, right? In India also we hear so many times about the security related issues on the banking system. It's one of the biggest core of our digital economy is our banking system. We started with demonetization.
Yes.
I don't get into the demerits and merits. It had a definite reason behind it when we did the demonetization, but that enabled in a big way on our digital economy. Okay. I think we have outgrown our expectation on the digital economy. The way we order today our own digital supply chain, the way I get my food or the groceries, or even I add my prescripted medicines. I think everything has revolutionized in a big way on the digital economy. Being tech savvy or the resources abundant in India, I think we are thriving very good way into this digital economy. But I would like to know what is the specific question on the digital economy you wanted to
Sir, we have
add?
recently seen the concept of geek workers. People work as a freelancer. They don't want to associate with the organization in a full time. They want to work on their own terms and they work on their own timing. They work as a on the project time and means on the project basis they get the project and they have to do in their any timing and it means they can do it any specific timing as per their convenience and they may submit the project and we have seen the concept actually called freelancing, so people don't associate in the full time role but they take the project like we have seen in the other fields like people in the mostly we have seen in the artist domain. So this is how.
Okay, I can connect this back to again how the whole industry has transformed itself. Harsh, in this case also, people work in the freelance area, right?
Yes.
Even the work expectation, the way it was in 90s or 80s, you had, if I'm an employee, will join an organization, I work there for 35, 40 years, then I retire. In my whole lifetime, in those period of 40 years of working in one organization, I would hardly see less than one disturbance, right?
Mm.
Coming to the new age, new millennials expectation and the lifestyle has changed extensively, right? The way people lived in the 80s and 90s, retired in one company or at best another company, now it is no longer valid, right? The millennials doesn't want to work till their retirement.
Yes.
They want to fast get the benefits, increase, enhance their lifestyle, live better, strive better, achieve their life targets with an early stage. They don't want to work till their retirement. And it is not that they want to retire early. They want to balance the life of the private life and the professional life much better. They want to spend reasonable amount of time with their families and their friends also, or get onto the entertainment, not just keep working for a longer time or longer period of their lifespan. That is a change in the lifestyle, right? So
Yes.
how it can help? Industry cannot make it happen by taking away that you need to work for full time, right? That is one set of organization. Another set is freelancing. Is I work at my pace. I
Yes.
work at my convenience. I have sufficient time, right? That is the most flexibility, where you have a finer balance between the way you work, the way you enjoy, how much the money you spend, how much you earn, right? There it is a compromise between what I want and what I want to achieve and how much time I can give it there.
Yes.
Freelancing is thriving because most of the activities are happening in a digital way. Maybe by sitting in India, I can offer a lot of projects to the United States or the developed
Right.
economies in the Western world, right? Because I offer more competitive solutions to them. So freelancing is that area, or it can be consulting, it can be project management, or decoding a software, or working on IT project for a small one. Engineering gets developed into the developing countries like India or China. The deployment happens into the developed nation. So these are all part of digital economy or
Yes.
so-called freelancing. So they go hand in hand. Okay. To sum it up, Harsh, it is more of a need, change in the lifestyle and the working environment, and the technological evolution that is helping where freelancing can help me to do better than instead of going to my morning 9 to 6 job. It's quite appreciated.
Right.
I think that's how it's going to evolve.
Exactly. And sir, I think this was really a meaningful answer from your side. And sir, I can say there's a lot more to learn from you, but today I don't want to take too much of your time. So moving to my last question of this session, in this era of AI and ML, what are the advices would you like to give to the student, those who are still in their colleges because they are doing their classes online, so they are missing certain kind of skills. So what do you think? What are the kind of skills they must learn because the kind of skills we learn in college days like networking, we learn a collaboration kind of skills, they are missing these kind of things. So they are sitting in the means for comfort of their home. So in your opinion, what are the kind of skills they must learn in order to make themselves more compatible with this, with the industry demand?
Yeah. Harsh, it's a great question. I really love to support the people, especially the student community also. Me and one of my colleagues was also engaged with one of the famous university in the south. They hosted a tech summit for the people. When we say they covered a wide range of topics of Internet of Things, right? This data analytics or digital twin, or you say digitalization, These are all, or you say artificial intelligence. They are all coming out of interconnected things of these various elements. I have a internet, I have a data set available, then I have a data analytics available. When I start relating all this together, artificial intelligence also is one element there where rightful reading of this data, its analytics, its trendings enables me to predict what is happening or what is likely to happen or help me taking a decision. If I go back to the only Internet of Things, Internet of Things starts with where I have many connected devices. They produce huge amount of data.
Yes.
I collect this huge amount of data and produce by way of dashboard in a way where reader can see it, draw the inference, take a right decisions. This is the basic intent of Internet of Things when we do, at least on the industry side. I'm referring to the industry because IoT is already used in even already into the predicting of cyclone coming up, land disasters coming up. It is already harnessed in a big way. I'm talking only from the industry perspective. That is IoT area. Students can learn irrespective whether he's a computer science engineer or not, or he's an electronics engineer or not. Civil, electrical, mechanical, even non-technical. We need to learn Internet of Things. Right? Then that is the first part of the answer.
Okay.
Then coming to the artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence is heavily dependent on the data.
Yes.
If you are a very good statistician, or if you are very good in number analytics, or you have a very good approach towards analyzing set of data, capturing the data, cleaning up the data, analyzing data in a certain way, which computers does know when we do the data analytics or a data scientist. That results in a very good way in the field of artificial intelligence. That is where we talk about machine learning, digital twin, artificial intelligence. These are all the emerging technologies. My suggestion is to the best of their ability and the available resources, please learn very basically Internet of Things. Then learn the data science. That will lead to many areas for your perspective.
Indeed, sir. Again, this was a very meaningful piece of advice from your side, and I'm sure the people, actually those who are in the age group of actually who are doing their colleges, they are find this meaningful. They will find us meaningful. And thank you so much, sir, for joining and giving your important time. It was a kind of a healthy conversation with you over the topic. We look forward to conduct more such session with you in future. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much for inviting me for this session. I'm really happy to converse with you and look forward to seeing you soon again. Thank you very much.
Definitely. Thank you so much. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
On the ground is where I stand. Never give up, that was always the plan. It's so cold